Welcome to College Algebra. In this lecture video, we are going to talk about the inverse of functions. The inverse of functions. So we've been talking a lot about functions. So the idea of inverse, okay, right now I'm not calling it a function, I'm just calling it an inverse relation. It's the idea of interchange between the x and the y coordinates, or the x and the y variables. Okay, this is the whole idea. Inverse means the interchange between the x and y coordinates or the x and y variables. So here I got a picture, okay? The parabola, the blue parabola. Right now I'm not calling it a function, I'm calling it a relation for right now. Alright? So this parabola opens upward. The idea of interchanging between the x and y coordinates can be viewed as if I just eyeball this vertex, okay, I'm eyeballing, okay. This vertex look like maybe like a 2, -6. So if I want to interchange between the x and y coordinates, that means the vertex, okay, look at the pink parabola. Then the vertex, if I interchange this, it will be -6, 2, and that's basically where my vertex is going to be for my horizontal parabola. That'll be -6, 2. Okay, so this whole entire blue parabola, if I will interchange every single coordinate between the x and y, then I will actually end up with my inverse relation. End up with my pink parabola, open to the right. Alright, now make sure you understand that the pink parabola is actually not a function. Okay, it's not a function because the vertical line test shows what it will actually intersect at two different places. All right, so keep that in mind. Interchange between the x and y coordinates or the x and y variable. So for example, all right, so here I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 coordinates here. All right, together this is called a relation. Find the inverse. Expression into the set of ordered pairs. So if I will find its inverse, then all I will need to do is interchange, okay, all the x and the y coordinates. So that means I will have -1, -6, -9, comma 4. My next coordinate, interchange the x and y coordinates, -4, 7, and 6, comma -9. Alright, so that will be my inverse relation. So now find the domain and the range of my inverse. Okay, so this is my inverse. So since this is a relation, there's no coordinate, no points between any given points here. Then I will use my set notation. So my domain will be a set of x values. So my x value will be -9, -4, -1, and 6. My range, using the set notation, since I don't have any other points but these 4. So I'm not using interval notation. So my y value here is -9, -6, 4, and 7. Okay, so the idea here is to interchange between the x and y coordinates to get our inverse relation. Alright, so for example, they don't call this a function, they call them relation for right now. So find 4 points that contains in the inverse. Okay, find 4 points contain the inverse. So the easiest way to do this is for the original relation, I will just come up with 4 points for the original relation. Okay, this thing says x equals, so it's easier to actually pick a number for y. If I pick 0 for y, absolute value of 0 is 0, -0 is still 0, 0 minus 1 is -1 for x. I'm just gonna do something easy. Absolute value of, if I pick y equal to 1, absolute value of 1 is 1. Negative sign still in the front, make it -1. -1 minus 1, -2. Alright. Pick y equal to 2. Negative absolute value of 2 minus 1. Absolute value of 2 is 2. Negative sign in the front, make it -2 minus 1, which is -3. Alright, I'm going to purposely pick a -1 for y. So that would be negative absolute value of -1 minus 1. Absolute value of -1 is 1. Negative sign in front, still there, minus 1. My x value is -2. Interesting. Alright, so find 4 points contained in the inverse. So for the inverse, I will just interchange between my x and the y coordinates. Swap these two, 2, -3, and -1, -2. Okay. Alright, find the domain and range of the inverse. Okay, find the domain and the range of the inverse. So what is my inverse here? So once I find the 4 points, I probably should be able to draw this picture. So what does this picture look like? This is an absolute value of y. So remember now, if I can interchange between the x and y coordinate, I can also interchange between the variable as well. So if I interchange between these two variables, that would actually be y is equal to negative absolute value of x minus 1. So what kind of function is this? This is actually an absolute value function now. Negative absolute value of x minus 1. There you go. Now check it out. Okay, check it out. These are my coordinates. So I'm going to double check, make sure those are my coordinates. 0, -1, 1, -2, 2, -3, -1, -2. So I'm doing this right. So now I end up with the V open downward. Okay. What is the highest point it reach for my range? Because domain is what? -infinity to infinity. But what about the range? Alright, go down, go down. Highest point, what's the vertex? Okay, so same idea with the parabolas. Alright, inside the function, there's no plus or minus, so that means what? I'm not doing any horizontal shift. So the -1 here tell me I have shifted down one place. So my vertex, that point got to be 0, -1. So for my range is actually from down up, coming from -infinity all the way up to -1 using a bracket. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video here and I'm going to continue with another I'm going to continue with my objective number 2 with a different video. Thank you for watching.